Hi guys, welcome to this lesson on volume. Okay, let's have a look at a couple of things before we get started. Volume refers to how much an object can hold. Right? Other words that get bandied around with volume is also capacity. Alright? The other thing is, therefore, the objects we're going to deal with are 3D, they're three-dimensional. So we're talking about boxes, cups, cylinders, things that can hold stuff inside them. Okay, so another point then we need to look at when we're putting our units in is if we've got a box and it is a metre by a metre by a metre, we've got meters, which means our units are in cubic metres. So make sure you're aware of that when you're getting it done. Alright, outside of that, volume is nice and easy. Here's a real easy formula. The volume is equal to the area of the base multiplied by the height, or multiplied by that third dimension going back. So if I was to look at this little box here that I've drawn, the front shape here is a square or a rectangle. So if I was to find the area of that base, all I need to do is multiply it by that height going back, or that distance going back on that third dimension. If I do that, can't go wrong. These things are really, really easy. So let's have a look at an example. What we have is a rectangular based prism. Alright, here's our rectangle, that's our base shape, and we're going back in that third dimension. So let's get a formula started. The area of the base of a rectangle is length times width multiplied by the height. Substituting in, we're going to go 6 by 5, okay, multiplied by that height of 10. So putting that in our calculator, 6 times 5 times 10 gives us 300 cubic centimetres. Alright, nice and simple. Alright, I'm not the best drawer, but we'll have a go. What we're looking at here is a cylinder. It has a radius up the top of 3 and a distance down here, or a height of 12 metres. Okay, so let's get a formula going. The volume is equal to pi r squared, because our base shape is a circle, and that's the area of the circle, multiplied by the height. Nice and easy. Let's substitute in. Volume is equal to pi times 3 multiplied by 3, because we're doing it twice because it's squared, multiplied by our height, which is 12, bringing it down. Okay? Type all that into our calculator, we get an answer of a volume of 339.29 cubic metres. Okay? Really simple. Area of the base times the height. Okay? Let's up the ante. We'll look at one more example before we do some practices. Just something a little bit more difficult. Okay, again, not a real good drawing, but let's have a bit of a look. We've got a 10 here, 5 there, 6 there, 14, 6 and 5 centimetres. Now what we're looking at here is a composite shape. Okay? Now in past videos with composite shapes, all we need to really work out where to do is to chop it. We want to chop it into shapes that we can use. So let's go and chop it. We're going to chop this thing straight down here. We're going to break it into number 1 and number 2. Okay, so 2 rectangular based prisms, which we already know how to do. All we need to do is add them together to get the total. So let's get a formula going. The volume of this is equal to the first one, which we're going to use this little area up here. That's our base shape. Okay, it's a rectangle, which is length times width times the height, plus this one is a rectangular based prism as well, so that's length times width times the height. Nice and easy. Let's substitute in. 5 times 6 times a height of 10. Yeah? Plus 5 times 6, height of 14. Okay? Now instead of putting all that in our calculator, what we're going to do is we're going to break it down a little bit. 5 by 6 by 10 is 300. 5 by 6 by 14 is 420. Okay, breaking it down so it's easy. Adding those two together gets our step 3 answer of 720 cubic centimetres. So easy. Break it into stuff we know. Area of the base times the height. Not any harder than that, nice and easy. 2 practices, I'll put them up there. You have a go at them, come back after the break and see the answers. Alright, practice number 1, we'll keep it fairly easy. It's a cylinder, circle as the base shape, has a radius of 15 centimetres and a distance here or a height of 22 centimetres. Practice number 2. Alright, again another bad drawing, but we've got a bit of a house shape here. We've got a distance here of 9, a distance going back of 12, a distance up there of 10, and the height of this little triangle here is 2 metres. So go away, have a go at both of them, and come back after the break, we'll go through the answers. Alright, welcome back, let's see how you went. First one's a cylinder, area of the base times the height. Step 1 formula, pi r squared, because we're looking at a circle multiplied by the height. Substitute in pi times 15 times 15, because it's r squared, times the height of 22. Put it into your calculator. Get out an answer of 15,550.89 cubic metres. Alright, good. Hope you got that one right. The next one was our little house shape. Now the question was, where are you going to cut it? Now for me, I'd be cutting the top straight off it. So we've got a triangular based prism and a rectangular based prism. Yeah. Okay. So looking here, we have a perpendicular height on our triangle and a base of 9. So triangular base going back for our height. And we have a rectangle base going back for our height. We just need to add them together once we're finished doing them. Now, I put this one in brackets because there's a height in our triangle and there's a height in our actual prism. So I didn't want to get us confused. So the area of a triangle is half base times height, times the height, because we've got to get that third dimension for our prism, plus length times width for the rectangle, times the height to go back for our prism. Nice and easy. So, half times 9 is our base for our triangle, times 2, which is our height. Okay, multiplied by 12, which is the height of the prism. Okay, we then have 9, which is our length or width for our rectangle, times 10 to get our rectangular shape, multiplied by 12 for our height of the prism, which is our third dimension. So, doing those in, that one there equals 108. This one here is equal to 1080. We're just going to add those two together, which will give us 1,188 cubic metres. Alright, hope you got both of those right. I hope volume is easy for you now. Check out the rest of our videos on www.schoolmate.com. We'll see you next time.